Well, hello. It's Vicki with My Paper Connection, and thank you for stopping by tonight. Today is Tuesday, Tuesday, July 14th, and it's been a couple weeks since I've done this, so if I'm a little bit rusty. Tonight I'm going to be making a gorgeous card. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with this card that I made, and it's a book binding type of fold, and I love it. And I used the Plentiful Plants uh, stamp set, dies, the DSP that is called Bloom Where You're Planted, and it has such beautiful papers and the stamps and the dies and all of that. I'm going to show you the paper when I put the camera down. But before I did that, I just wanted to tell you our new catalog is out. I have a bunch of them coming in the mail this week. And so if you don't already have a demonstrator and if you don't already have the new mini catalog, this is for August to December, I believe. If you don't already have one, let me know, and I would be happy to get one out to you. It will come with the new celebration brochure as well. And if you spend $50 out of any of our catalogs for a period of time, you will get to choose something from here for every $50 that you spend. And it's free, and it's awesome. And this has some of the prettiest Christmas items. There's holly and trees and reindeer and penguins and gingerbread houses and lots of pretty fall stuff as well as Halloween stuff. And I will also be doing a paper share and product share, meaning ribbons and embellishments for this particular set. So I'm going to go ahead and put you down so I can show you this gorgeous paper. Hey, Carol. So this is the Bloom Where You're Planted paper, and I've chopped up, loved it and chopped it. And so I just thought I would show you. This is what we're going to use tonight. This brick paper I love it so much. This is a lot of fun as well. And what you can do with this is there are dies that match it, and you can cut these out using like this. This fits perfectly. And then there is one that fits for this one as well. I believe there's one for that also. And then there is paper in here that, and look at the back of that, that's like a grain, a wood grain. Then you've got greenery here, like tropical greenery, and you've got more brickwork. And this is a fun piece because you can cut it and then cut it like this, and you can just add a sentiment, and then you have a card. And there's really not much to it. And then there's this paper as well, and you can actually cut out the pots. It might be a little difficult to cut this out with the dies, but you could fussy cut around it and they would be perfect. But these pots you can use with the dies, and you can cut them out, and they're just great. So you got lots of greenery, lots of textures, and I'm just going to throw this off to the side, and we will get started. So this is the stamp set. You can see this is this particular stamp, but you have these things too. I think these kind of remind me of what my mom used to grow. I actually have some in my windowsill in the kitchen, and she always called it mother-in-law tongue. I don't know what it's really called, and I don't know if that's kind of rude. I don't know. That's just what I've always heard it called, but it's a beautiful plant. It grows really thick and full and tall. And then you have the different stamps for the pots. And so I'm going to be using 2 of the pots and these leaves and then a sentiment tonight. So let's get started. All right, let me get all this stuff out of the way. So I'm going to get my stamping done first. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing. And let's see, I think I did forget that one. I think I do need to, yep, I forgot this one. So let me put it on a block as well. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to use cinnamon cider, and I am going to stamp cinnamon cider onto cinnamon cider. And I'm going to stamp my 2 pots. Let me get my Stampin' Pierce mat. The thing about these stamps, when they cover a lot of ground and they're photopolymer, it really is best to use your Stampin' Pierce mat because you won't get a good coverage if you don't. Okay, all right. I'm going to bring some white in, close this up, and we will do our different greeneries. So I'm going to do one of these greeneries. I just forgot one of the other stamps I was going to do as well. Goodness me. It just seems like I can't seem to do much of anything without forgetting something. I don't know if you guys are the same way or not, but I can tend to be that way. Okay, so I'm going to use Evening Evergreen for the plant that just has 3, and I'm going to put it right about in here. And then I am going to use Soft Succulent for the leaves that have 5. Put it right here. I wanted to use all these. Oh, I don't like that. I think that my Evening Evergreen is a little juicy. Let me turn it over and see what happens. That's a little better, yeah. So I'm going to cut that off so that I make sure whenever I get ready to cut it out that I don't cut too far over. Okay. All right, so then I'll just keep it on this side, and I'm going to do the creepy crawly plant. I don't know what you call that either. It's not really an ivy, but it kind of looks like it. I don't know. And I'm going to use just jade for that one. Okay. And I'll do that one right over here. And then I'm going to bring this in, and I am going to stamp my sentiment to a dear friend. And these are just remnants that I save from whenever I'm cutting my paper. I don't think I put this on the block straight, so let's see if I can get that on and make it straight. Well, I did a pretty good job, but I wiggled it. Yep, that's good. Okay, all of my stamping is done. So now I just need to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I do have my mini that I'm going to use. Love this little thing. It is just perfect for the little pieces that you're doing. And it just sits right on your desk, and it's awesome. I love it. Okay, so let me get my pieces on here. I probably should have brought me some washi tape. And I say that every time, and then I forget to do it when I get off of here. Usually by the time I get done with these, doing lives, I'm just ready to go eat and do nothing, because it's usually been a pretty busy day. Hold on, let me get washi. And I'm just going to keep this washi tape over here so I don't have to say this every single time. I don't know if you guys are like me or not, but that is just the way I be. That's the way I roll. I forget things. I say it's because I'm putting too much in my head and something has to go, so. Okay. All right. So then we're just going to roll this through. The only thing I don't like about this as much is that you can't put as much on it, but I do like that it's pretty easy to roll. I'll go ahead and get these on here. I think I can put all these on here at the same time. And it is compact and easy to travel with. So, how's everybody doing out there tonight? It's been a beautiful day in Georgia. Okay. I'm going to use this little pot too, if I can pick it up. And it doesn't have to fit an outline, so I'm not actually going to tape it down. When I was playing with this, I stamped the pots on Whisper White or Basic White. I just didn't like, I don't know, it was too much white. And so then I thought, well, why not put it on cinnamon cider? Cinnamon cider on cinnamon cider. And cinnamon cider is really close to a terracotta pot, I think. I think it's actually closer in color than the terracotta cardstock was that we had. Okay. All right. 2 more that I can actually run through at the same time. And this is the macrame. Did you guys ever do macrame? I did in the 80s. I think it was the 80s. It might have been the 90s, actually. And it was so fun. I really enjoyed it. I don't think there's too many crafts out there I haven't tried my hand at. And I'm going to do some greenery using Just J. And I don't know if you noticed that, but I like to keep my, I have one of those stamping storage containers that you put in your IKEA Kallax shelves, and that's what I put my paper in. And so where I put my paper, then I use plastic sleeves, and I put my scraps and stuff in there, and it works perfectly. Okay, I'm going to do one more of these. I think I told a story when I said then I was going to be done, because I'm not yet. All right, so this little piece is actually from the window flower box dies, and it's a ledge. And so this particular card has a lot of detail, and I'm okay with that. I don't always do that, but I am a little bit of an avid stamper. I'm not much of a simple stamper kind of person. I like to foo-foo things up a bit. Come on, go through there. And so this is going to have a lot of cutting and stuff. Hey, Suzanne. Suzanne, did you do macrame back in the day when it was popular? Carol just said that she did, and I did too. It was really fun. I think that's all of the cutting. All right. So let me put all this over here. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is to take my paper. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to place it at 5 1/2. Make sure my trimmer blade is at the bottom. I'm going to score it at 5 1/2, and then I'm going to move it out to 6 1/2, and I'm going to score it there. Okay. This is the first time I have made one of the bookbinding cards, and it was so incredibly easy. Yeah, so you did too, Suzanne? It was so fun. Yeah, I'm doing well, Suzanne. Thank you for asking. It seems like it had taken me a little bit to get right and get to feeling better, but I'm getting stronger every day. So thank you for asking. I appreciate that. All right, so let's get this thing together. This is a piece of the Bloom Where You're Planted designer series paper, and I cut it at 7/8 by 4 1/4, and it is directional. You kind of want your leaves your stems to be going down, I think. At least I felt like I wanted them to. And it's almost going to cover the whole thing. I kind of left a crease or a little blank space right here because I didn't want it to interfere with the clothes, and you really don't even notice it. Then this is a piece of Evening Evergreen, and it is 4 1/4 by 4. And then this is a piece of the Bloom Where You're Planted, and it is 3 7/8 by 4 1/8. I just wanted that evening evergreen to just kind of pop out behind it. And I felt like it needed it because this bookbinding piece has a lot of the evening evergreen. So I'm going to put that right in there like that. And then we're just going to place this on top of our card. A lot of bits and pieces to this one. Like this. I really wanted this to be showcased. All right, so let's put all this stuff, take it apart and make sure we've got all of our pieces. And I don't want to lose my die, so I need to get me one of those little silver bowl things that's magnet so that you can hold your dies and then not lose them. I've seen a lot of people use those. My daddy had one when he would work on cars and stuff. I think my husband may even have one. He used to work on airplanes at the base, and I think he had one in his toolbox. So I could probably just get it from him, but it might be greasy. I don't want that. Okay. Bless him. When we got married, he worked at a company that made aluminum foil, and he came home smelling funky, and it would be like greasy and stuff, and he'd blow his nose, and it wouldn't be like the color it's supposed to be. It would be like the environment. And then he left that job and he went to a job where he worked with acetylene tanks, and he would fill them up, and that had a really funky smell. Then from there, he ended up getting on base, which was his goal the whole time. And he started working on aircraft mechanics, which is what he did when he was in the military. And then he smelled like aircraft fuel. And that is just another whole different smell. And so he ended up getting out of the military and started his own business doing carpet cleaning. And he smelled like shampoo, and it was awesome. I was so happy for him to not smell funky. I don't know how I got off on that subject, but other than the magnet bowl and aircraft mechanicking made me think of that. Welcome to the inside of my brain. It's a strange place. Okay, these are some of those little plants, and I'm just going to kind of tuck them behind. I want them to kind of stick out a little bit. See, Carol, you bought one at an automotive store and you love it? Oh yes, please do send me a picture of it. That would be great. Okay, and then I'm just going to add this one on this side. I want them to stick out a bit so that it looks nice and full. Okay. All right, there's that. Okay, so I'm going to put some dimensionals behind this. Have you guys tried this? Did you have this set, or have you tried it yet? It's really, really pretty. I love plants, and sometimes I'm good at it, and a lot of times I'm not. This year, I planted lavender plants. No, last year. Sorry. Last year, I planted lavender. And they were 2 small plants, and they are humongous now. And I love lavender, and it smells so good. And so I really I've enjoyed them blooming and stuff when it was time to do that. I had to cut them back because they were getting really reedy and woody, you know. And so I did that, and it looked so much better. It filled out even more, and it just looked so pretty. Okay, what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to cut off a piece about like that. This is the evergreen chevron weave ribbon, and I'm going to put some tear and tape right behind it, right about here. I don't want to put it the full length of it because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to it. I'm going to take my scissors. Let me get my see. Let me get my Stampin' Pierce Max. What did I do with it? Here it is. Okay. And I'm just going to fray these edges. So there is a little piece that fits along the edge, and you can just kind of, once you grab it, you can get a hold of it, and then you can fray it. Because when I made this, I felt like I wanted this to look like either a tablecloth or a rug. And so I felt like it needed to be frayed. Okay, so I'm going to take it along here and just get it started like that. That one doesn't want to do quite as easily as the other one did. It's kind of making a big mess, but I think I can trim that excess away. Just kind of want to clean up the edges like that. Okay. I'm going to make sure that that tear and tape is down really good by scratching the back of it, so it doesn't come off when I take this off. So let's see if I can do it. I can pick it up. My husband is about to grill us some supper, so if you hear noises, that would be him. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I didn't have nearly this much trouble. But then I was not filming myself, so you know how that goes. Come on. There we go. All right. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is put my little rug down right about here. Suzanne, the magnets that we're talking about are, it's like a bowl, kind of like a bowl like this, but it's silver and it has a magnet in the bottom of it. So, you know, in this case, if I were to drop it, it would actually stay in the bottom of the bowl and I wouldn't end up losing my pieces. If I knocked it over or anything like that, it would keep all of them in one place. I'm always a little worried about losing dies, so I try to keep a mind on them. Watch out where they are. Okay, I think that is a little too high. Pull it down a little bit. I'm going to set this here on my little rug, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of. I put dimensionals behind those. So I'm going to put those behind here in the big places where you won't see it. Maybe I'll use a small one on this one and a small one on this one. And then I'll put some behind here. I'll use a small one on this one. Okay. Take your pick. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Charlotte. Yeah, I love this set too. It is so pretty. My mom was always good with plants, and so we had plants in the yard and in the house and all that good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put this right about here, and then place this right. You know what? I probably should not have that middle one on there. Just kind of stagger it a little like that. It stuck to me, so maybe I am supposed to use it. There we go. That works. All right. Yes, Carol, please do send me a picture. That would be great. All right. I'll place this over here. And we're going to place our shelf off to the right over there. And I have to make sure that I leave enough space for my bowl. And I think I will put a mini behind it, and I don't think you're going to see it at all. I'm just going to let it overhang a little bit right there. It looks like I'm cutting it really close on that one. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, I cut it really close. Okay, hold on. I think I might need to adjust this just ever so slightly. We'll do it about like that instead. Okay. I think that will work. Yeah. Let me move it over. Yeah, I'm being a little picky. I know. That's me. I'm a little persnickety about things. Okay. This has lost its goo since I picked it up a couple times, so let me try it again. Okay. And I'm going to move it over here, I think. That way it doesn't overpower that, come out over it and overpower it. Okay. That's not going to work. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to, what is it? You go back and you punt. I'm going to back up and punt. Is that what you call it with football terms? So I'm going to glue it instead and make it look like it's sitting on the shelf. And that way it's going to give me more space for my plant, and then you'll be able to see it too. So I learned this saying years ago, and it says, "Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape." Oh, I know why. Okay, this thing right here needs to come off. There we go. I should have done that before. I forgot that I had done that, and I was looking at it thinking, where am I going to put my sentiment at? Okay, that works. No big deal. All right, then I'm just going to cut this off and cut this piece off, and we will put dimensionals behind it, and it will go just under the hanging pot, right about here. Okay, I think I need to, I'm being picky, but I'm gonna cut a little bit of that fringe off, I think. How many of you guys are as picky as I am? I'm a wee bit of a perfectionist. I won't deny it. I will fess up to it. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is to put some twine, and I'm going to use my glue dot, because why not? Why not make it easier on myself? Okay, I'm going to put it right about here, and that way I will make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And I would rather have more than not enough. So I'm going to wrap it 3 times. Okay, now I'm going to press all that into place. Love glue dots, man. Love, love, love them. Okay, then I'm just going to build me a bow. Tie me a bow. I don't know. Let's see, I'll do it this way because I want my tails to be more that direction. Okay, then we'll just tweak it a little bit and make it pretty. Like that. That's the beauty of that glue dot too, is it holds it in place. Okay, and then we'll just trim that off like that. And it makes such a pretty, pretty card. I should have put my basic white on the inside, and you can do that, and you can, I should have glued this together too, which I did not do. But that's what I did with this one. I was getting ahead of myself. With this one, I glued this down on the inside. Well, first I put a whole piece, a 4 by 5 1/4 right here. And then I put glue on the inside and I glued this down on top of that white piece. You don't necessarily have to do one that big, but I will probably loosen this up and glue that in there so that I make sure that it doesn't come loose. And then I will just cut a piece of basic white to fit that little piece right there. But look how pretty. Isn't it gorgeous? Such a fun card to make. And I can tell you now, this bookbinding will not be the last of these that I do. Really, really, really like it. I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Charlotte, glad to know that you're not alone with your crafting techniques. Are you as picky as I am? I know I am. You think I'm funny talking about my husband's smells? Yeah, he actually does public affairs now, so he smells like he does when he comes home now. So when he leaves the house, he smells like he does when he comes home. That's always a good thing. So anyway, thank you guys for watching me and for hanging out with me, and I hope you guys have a good night. Bye.